Okay, hello. Today we're gonna discuss about the Gman's appearance. Sadly, I wanted to discuss this with the board, but my game crashed and it reset everything to default. So thank you, Wealth. Thank you. I did so much writing and drawings on these boards, but yeah, thank you. For my Gman theory, I cannot show anything now because I'm too lazy to do that again. So let's do it again. Let's talk about Gman's appearance, because that's where we ended off after the crash. Gman is someone that wears a suit, a clean blue-purple suit, holding a briefcase. Is mostly referred as a government man or a bureaucrat, basically. That's his disguise or his niche, you know. Talks often about his employees and all that stuff, but most of the time he's observing certain individuals. For example, in the model name, it's referred as Gman, but it's actually shorted as Government Man. No one knows Gman's real name. This is more like a shorted version of his name, the Government Man. Motives, witnesses. Yeah, the witnesses was the second point. Witnesses. Who knows about this man? Who had interaction with this man? So we know for a fact Gordon had interaction with Gman after the Black Mesa incident and in Half-Life 2. Breen. That's the Breen knows about Gman. Basically, Breen was the head administrator of the Black Mesa research facility, which he also allowed the Gman to have free reign over the facility. He was allowed to go everywhere. You know, I mean, you don't need. Gman cannot be held off anyway, but you know, Gman was allowed to be anywhere, everywhere. He had more clearance because of Breen, and he also allowed, with Eli's permission too, to cause the resonance cascade. Eli knew about the resonance cascade, by the way. If Breen knew about that, I don't know, but I know that Eli knew about the resonance cascade before all it happened. You know, he was willingly to do the favor for the G-Man by bringing the crystal to the spectrometer and charging it 505%, maybe, or even more, over the limit. That you know, Gman was the one that actually brought the crystal. So, yeah. So Eli knew about Gman's appearance. Witness. He interacted with Gman probably in the past, and I guess with Eli's thing is, after this weird thing collapsed in Black Mesa, he made this one deal with Gman. I think it's a theory right now. It's just speculations, but he made a deal with the Gman, a contract or something like that. Say he does the shit with the resonance cascade, and therefore Gman gives him a nudge. Like in Alyx, he gives Eli a nudge, you know. Now we know for a fact that Gman was interested in Alyx even long time before this event here, before Half-Life 2 and all this shit. Kinda. It's hard to explain, but kinda. He was interested in Alyx. I think that Eli, since he had a nudge or a wish from G-Man, he decided Alyx to be saved. I mean, it's a plausible thing. Therefore, his wife died, because he had to decide, should he save his wife? You know? Like, telling G-Man to save his wife or his daughter. So, he probably saved his daughter. But the sad thing is, Eli didn't know that G-Man was already interested in Alyx anyway, so he would probably saved her anyway. So, yeah, that's the thing with Eli. Breen, on the other hand, I think Breen had the contract with G-Man when he gave him the free clearance and the spectrometer and stuff and crystal shit, and you know, Breen approved in everything, the entire experiment thing, you know. And after that, after all this resonance cascade after the event of Black Mesa, he became the head administrator of the Combine, the Earth administrator. Now you're telling me that he, a guy that was an admin, like the overboss of Black Mesa, is also becoming the overboss of Earth from the Combine? Isn't it a little bit odd, like, that the same person gets that high ranked after the event? Like, from all the humans that could be chosen from the Combine to be the puppet, Breen was chosen to be the Earth administrator. Isn't it a little bit odd? So I would say that Gman had something to do with that, you know, like a little wish nudge, you know. So also Breen mentions in Half-Life 2 when you arriving, if you're arriving in the Citadel and everyone is captured, you included, and you are in Breen's office, Breen mentions about the highest bidder, the contractors, that they have a really interest in Gordon, you know. Means means Breen knows everything about Gman's existence, about the contractors, and also that Gordon was in stasis. He actually knew. If you are if you played Nova Prospect in Half-Life 2, the chapter Nova Prospect, you try to save Eli with Alyx and shit. There's a terminal where Breen talks with his Overwatch superiors or supervisors, and he mentions that Gordon Freeman was probably stated or put away for a long time. Means something about the stasis. So Breen knew that Gordon Freeman was kept in stasis by the G-Man. So a lot of knowledge. Breen has a lot of knowledge about G-Man. Probably even more as Eli. Just saying. But there's a Garbage, also one of the candidates, but I don't know what his connection is with G-Man. We only seen it once, a glimpse, a few the Half-Life 2 chapters. If you have the buggy, you drive around, and you will probably come across one house with a binocular kind of a device where Overwatch are watching something, a hardpoint. You clearly can see G-Man talking with Odessa in this one red building. I don't know what that is about. I don't know what's the connection with Odessa and G-Man. No sure. I can only speculate that G-Man probably provided the Resistance with rocket launchers. You know, the RPGs in Half-Life 2, the RPG weapon. I think he provided the Resistance with rocket launchers. But after that, I don't have any explanations for that guy, Odessa Garbage. Adrian Shepard is also an interesting part. He's like Gordon Freeman, basically, a Gordon Freeman version, but in military form. So I come back with Adrian Shepard later, because I have something really interesting about that, an interesting theory. Who did I miss? Mossman could maybe know. We are not. I'm not sure. No one is sure. But in Half of Alyx, this game here, what I'm playing right now, we see a shadow lady person. We don't see her personally. We only see her shadow shadow silhouette on the walls. The wall, yeah. It could be Mossman, Judith Mossman, but it's hard to explain. It's hard to guess. I assume it's Mossman, but it could also be someone else. Hell, it could be maybe Breen's wife. Maybe Breen had a wife or something, and she was also like the Queen Administrator or something like that, like the Lady Earth Administrator. Who knows? I assume it's Mossman. Basically because she actually talks like Mossman in sarcastic ways. Now people would say, well, but Mossman doesn't talk like that in Half-Life 2. Actually, bro, it's 5 years. Like this timeline here, what we're playing is 5 years after the event of Half-Life 2. So personalities, you know, can change over the years. So I'm just saying. I assume it's Mossman because she knew about Black Mesa. No, she was there, Black Mesa, probably an employee, so a scientist. So I think it's Mossman. It's hard to guess. I'm not sure about Breen's wife, if she was involved in Black Mesa. Not sure, but we know for a fact that Mossman was in Black Mesa. Actually, Mossman was actually supposed to be the one that Gordon Freeman's job to take, but Gordon was first, or maybe better at this position, so she was replaced with Gordon, basically. The thing about Mossman, the interesting part about Mossman, we don't know what's the connection. If it's Mossman, we're not 100% sure. We're not certainly sure if it's Mossman, but if it is Mossman, I'm really interested. What's the connection between her and Gman? You know, she knows that Gman had this weird powers for some reason. She knows that Gman disappeared in Black Mesa, out of existence. So, where does she knows that? How does she knows that? Like, what's the deal with Mossman and Gman? What's the connection there? If it's really Mossman, like, there must be something behind it, right? Did she had a notch too? Like some wish? Did she did some favor for Gman? Like also a task or something? Some wishes? What's the connection with her? That's something what I'm intrigued by. You know. Also, for some reason, she knew about the Borealis. She knew. I don't think the Combine knows about the location of the Borealis. I don't think the Combine knows. No? Unless the footage and shit. Unless after maybe episode 2, where the Combine kinda maybe find out about the Borealis, but I think the Combine didn't know before about the Borealis existence. They didn't know. So where did Judith knew about the Borealis? How did she knew? I don't think the Combine's database had something about the Borealis existence, you know? So that makes no sense. All we know is Judith took a helicopter and flew to the, I think, North Pole, maybe, or Antarctica, I don't know. Directly to the Borealis location. Which I assume that maybe Gman told Mossman where the Borealis is. Could be, but we don't know. It's just interesting with Mossman's part, actually. Mossman's part is really interesting. But now let's get to the story in Alyx. Spoiler alert, by the way. Gman was able to cause an alternative parallel universe by basically letting Eli live and take another entity life, which means he actually swept the reality of the timeline from Half-Life 2. In Half-Life 2 we all know, many years now, that Eli was supposed to die. Now in this part Gman actually changed it and saved Eli. Basically Alyx saved Eli, but you know how it is. And I can only assume that Gman maybe tried to fix the future, maybe to maybe something happened in Half-Life 2, in the Half-Life 2 universe, that it didn't fit for the Gman, or it didn't work out in the future, that he had to come back and change the reality in some certain point. That could actually be the reason, but we don't know. So what if something happened in the future and it didn't fit the Gman, or didn't work out as he planned or intended, so he came so he traveled back in time and tried to change this one specific event that should fix whatever Gman's motives is, to be fixed by letting Eli live. I mean, it has something to do with Eli. I think Eli and Alyx are major key. I mean, Alyx is a major key anyway. We know that for a fact. But I think also Eli Vance is a major key for the G-Man. For some reason, I don't know what it could be, but he's a major key factor for G-Man. Also, now that Alyx is hired, Gordon Freeman is mostly replaced or fired by G-Man, so he's no longer... So, like, Gordon Freeman is no longer employed by the G-Man. Keep that in mind. So Gordon is totally replaced by Alyx. As we could actually suggested, guessed, by the epistle 3 text that Mark Laidlaw wrote. He was totally replaced. So, where do we end here? Oh yeah, Shepard. Let's come back to Shepard, because I said we come back to Shepard. Adrian Shepard, I think now that the Gordon is not more employed by the G-Man, G-Man will probably try to hold off Gordon, because they, like he said, and like his contractors or hybriders said, they cannot control Gordon. They are unable to control him, or they cannot use him anymore, or something like that. Which I assume that G-Man will probably take something out of his sleeves trick, and he will probably take Shepard out of stasis to hold off Gordon. Because if someone can actually stop Gordon Freeman himself, you know, the legend, it's Adrian Shepard. Because they both are basically the same, you know. So I guess that G-Man will probably reinstate Shepard to hold off Gordon. Now, at that point, keep in mind that Shepard doesn't know anything what's happening on Earth. He doesn't know that the combat took Earth, the invasion, the 7-hour war. He doesn't know anything. Probably he would still have probably the mindset that Gordon Freeman is a bad guy. You know, that all this shit is still happening, and probably the military is still hunting, or Gordon Freeman is on the hunt, you know. So keep that in mind, that Shepard probably will not know what's happening around Earth, you know, about resistance, about the Combine. He will not know. So he probably would still comply with the G-Man and probably hunt Gordon Freeman. So that makes totally sense, you know. I hope Shepard doesn't die, by the way. I really wish that Shepard and Gordon teaming up and defeat G-Man. I really hope for that in Half-Life 3, that Shepard and Gordon Freeman together, working together and fighting G-Man. That would be awesome. Anything else? Oh, okay, that was the second point. Witnesses. Oh yeah, the Vaults also know about G-Man's existence. Yeah. Powers. Let's come to powers. That was the third one. Powers. G-Man's powers were seen most of the Half-Life series, but in Half-Life Alyx we kinda knew that G-Man can time travel. We kinda knew that, especially the Half-Life fans. Over the years we all speculated that G-Man can do that, but Half-Life Alyx proved it. It actually proved it. So G-Man is able to travel between time. What we didn't know, clarification, that G-Man was able to swap multiverses or parallel universes. So he's able to do that too, basically. So That's proved also. The thing is, Gman, what's his powers? Let's step it up. So he can stop time, seen in Half-Life 2 and Half of Alyx. He can stop time. He can put people into stasis, means they cannot age at all. By the way, people that put into stasis subjects cannot age, cannot move. They don't need food or anything. They are like frozen, like in a state that is that they're temporarily not touchable in reality. So can put people in stasis. Can travel to future and travel back to time. I guess I assume he can swap multiverses, parallel universes. He can change reality in alternative timelines. So this is the third. What can he do? What can he do? He can give people powers. Like in Alyx Vance, he gave Alyx the power to kill an advisor, so he can give people unnatural powers. He can mostly teleport, it's obvious. Maybe even place or open portals. Can do that too. He can also create his own dimensions. Like in Half-Life 1, the train, in Opposing Force, the Osprey helicopter, with the weird dimension stuff. He can open his own dimensions. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah, he can also telepathic communicate with people. Telepathic. Like in the half of episode 2, the heart-to-heart scene. Yeah, keep that in mind. Right. Can Gman be stopped? Yes, he can. Now, I noticed in episode 1, long time ago, I actually kind of knew that long time ago, that Gman can't be stopped with Vortisense or Vortigaunt energy. The Vortisense. In episode 1, Gman was actually stopped by the Vortigaunts to interact with Gman again. Also, that the Vortigaunts freed Gordon from the stasis room, and also saved Alyx by the explosion of the Citadel. So, which means that Gman can be held off by the Vortigaunt's Vortisense. Which also is the reason we didn't see the Gman in episode 1 at all. He was gone. The entire episode, he wasn't there. You didn't see him. Probably stopped by the Vortisense. Now in Half of Alyx, in the end, we encounter the final ending, the finale, and we see this weird chamber surrounded with Vortisense energy. Also, why they use all these Vortisense things here. This weird Vortisense energy to stop the Gman to get out, to break out of this prison. So Gman can actually be stopped or hold off with Vortisense energy. That's for fact. That's proven. It's proven. Which they also use Vortigaunts as an energy source for the prison. Also, the interesting factor here, we see all this cable going to the Citadel. Now you're telling me, what the fuck did they try to power up there? What did they try to do? I think, and this is another kind of a... This is a new theory, by the way. A new theory. Darkness. Oops. What is darkness? Oops. Yeah, writing is a little bit hard here. Yeah, just keep that in mind. Darkness is something interesting in the half of Alyx. It was mentioned before that Gman can open dimensions and shit. Most of his dimensions is a dark room. I mean, it's a dark area, basically. Everything is dark. You can probably see some traces, some yellow traces, bolts, whatever. But it's always dark. Gman possesses maybe the opposite of Vortigaunt magic. That is dark energy. Vortigaunt energy, what a sense? Dark energy. So why I'm saying that? It's the term darkness is referred a little bit, but vague. But it is kind of mentioned. For example, when we free this one Vortigaunt from one of those cable stations from the Combine, the Vortigaunt mentions something about he's seen the darkness when he was in this pod, common pod. He's seen the darkness. Alyx is afraid of darkness. Keep that in mind. Alyx is afraid of darkness. The Vortigaunt seen darkness. The Citadel is powered up by a dark energy reactor. Darkness. I mean, everything that is darkness is referred to Gman. Gman itself is darkness, or maybe he is possessing dark energy, or something like that. You know, when you, in Half-Life 2, when you fight Breen, in kind of way, he mentions... no wait, was it Alyx? Something mentions that it's a dark energy reactor that opens the portal to the Combine. A dark energy reactor. It's also the same thing, the same energy that causes the Viscom to turn blue, you know, and turn really powerful, you know. Dark energy. Gman and dark energy has some connections too. Darkness is referred a lot, and in the end, Alyx is actually put in stasis in a dark area, and she freaks out because she's afraid of darkness. Now it kind of sounds weird, and I cannot explain it that much about it, but it has something to do with it. Darkness, dark energy, everything what's dark, with the term dark, is referred to Gman. Something with darkness. We don't know what it is. If Gman is made of dark energy, I assume that as a theory. But darkness is involved. Something about darkness. Don't know what it is. Okay, what's this all basically? Let's see. We talked about Gman's appearance. We talked about his witness. We talked about his powers. What else? Motivations. What is Gman's motivations? This is probably the last point I do. We don't know about Gman's motivations, to be honest. I can only assume that he has something. I mean, he wants something from Alyx. From the start, from the Black Mesa accident, he had some interest of Alyx. What it is, we don't know. But yeah. The interesting part about Alyx is in Half-Life 2 he had no interest in Alyx. No interest. In episode 1, no interest. He actually let Alyx almost die, by the way. And when the Citadel exploded, he let actually Alyx die almost. Then in episode 2, he let Alyx die again, twice, by the hunter. When Alyx got stabbed by the hunters, mostly killed, almost. She almost died too, twice. So Gman had no fucking interest in Alyx until a certain event. I don't know what it is, but a certain event. in episode 2, when the Vodagons tried to revive Alyx, healing Alyx, that's where the interest came to Gman, that Alyx is really a priority for him. Also, he had interest in Black Mesa, but it doesn't make sense. So first he had interest in Black Mesa, but then he lost interest in Alyx. And then he had interest again? Makes no sense, but it is. And now, since he swapped reality, he has full interest in Alyx. Which he also, yeah, in that alternate universe, full interest. Full interest in Alyx. What it is, I don't know, but maybe it's something that, like I mentioned before, it's a future where he seen in the alternative Half-Life didn't work out for him, maybe. So he tried to change it, change the future where Alyx is the key and maybe Eli too. So those two people are the key for something. I didn't think that Eli would. I didn't think that Eli would been let live if Gman didn't had something to do with him in the previous priority manners. Basically, that's all we know about Gman. Now, the only thing what we need to find out is what's with Mossman, and Odessa. What's with those two? Because from Odessa's point, I don't know what his deal is with Gman. And from Mossman's side, if it's Mossman, we don't know. What's also her deal with Gman? Because we know for a certain fact that this person, whoever this Silhouette Shadow person is, she knows about Black Mesa. She was there, so she's also a key member from this event from the past. What's the thing with Mossman is not known. I really actually try to think any solutions or what it could be, like explanations, but I don't. We don't know anything about Mossman, to be honest. We don't know anything. Only that she was supposed to be taking Gordon's job in his place, but she was replaced by Gordon. Basically, that's all we know. Basically, and she is fangirling about Gordon really hard. I don't know. I cannot explain what could be the reason with Mossman and Gman. All we know is that Breen and Mossman, they know about Gman's existence. They know. They both know. Well, I guess that's for the theory. Am I right? It's for the theory.